Thank you. I just want to give us all an opportunity to applaud one more time the baptism of this stage by such extraordinary talent. I was going to say young and old, but I'm going to say young and adult talent. Good afternoon, I am Marianna Houston, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Evelyn Collins for really just about everything. But for today, thank you for inviting me to be part of this extraordinary celebration and dedication of the Phylicia Rashad Auditorium. And thank you, Phylicia Rashad, for being such a powerful presence and inspiration to so many, and certainly to all the students at the Performing and Visual Arts Magnet School. Dr. Collins asked me to speak to you today about the value of arts education, which seemed to me to be a little preaching to the choir. But choirs love and need some preaching too, so let's preach. I have been involved in arts education for 50 years. Woohoo! And have had the pleasure of working closely with Dr. Collins for many, many years, especially when I was the Director of Education at TDF, Theater Development Fund. Today, I want to combine some praise and value talk in reference to the arts and entrepreneurship. Dr. Collins is a model entrepreneur, as well as a model theater artist. And one could say that Performing and Visual Arts Magnet School is indeed Dr. Collins's startup. Many of the young people here today and at your school will be creating startups and founding nonprofits on small scales and large scales in the future. And startups create something from nothing, which is exactly what we say about theater, or a devised theater piece, or what we say on the first day of rehearsal, that we will be creating something from nothing, and that we will breathe life into an idea or character. Dr. Collins, by providing a gymnasium for discipline, confidence, collaboration, and creativity, you are preparing your beautiful young scholars and artists for every walk of life. At the Performing and Visual Arts Magnet School, Evelyn, you are teaching students to learn for the experience of learning and not just for the grade. And what is an entrepreneur of a startup but a self-driven, passionate believer in the possible? Initially, the large vision for a startup or any business or nonprofit that one self-starts takes a full-blown imagination. The first step is asking, what if? Which is what every playwright begins asking. What if Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz is black? What if a plant is bloodthirsty and lives in a humble plant shop? What if a black blues singer in the 1920s stands up to her white agent and her white music producer and demands respect and justice? The entrepreneur asks, what if we could hold in our hands a small machine that connects us with the world? And what if there was a high-quality school in Mount Vernon that taught all students using the arts and was a conservatory for the arts? This what if is what distinguishes the obedient followers from the leaders and movers and shakers of the world. The what if is the entrance into the dream and the world of what's possible. We engage in the possible, and that is what keeps moving us forward. Along the way, the artists and the entrepreneurs solve crazy, blindsiding, huge and tiny problems, not by consulting the guidebook, because there is none, but by using their imaginations and creativity to get to the other side of what seems impossible. The arts that are taught right here, every day, teach students to try new things, manage risk, develop creative problem-solving skills, and handle failure. Why have a school for the arts in Mount Vernon? To nurture entrepreneurs and self-starters? Sure, why not? But also, of course, to train and inspire young actors, dancers, poets, musicians, singers, filmmakers, visual artists, playwrights, directors, choreographers, composers, conductors, and a hungry audience for the arts. The arts and the artists are our mirror, and their works of art and their performances ask the questions of a culture or a society that needs and wants to ask these questions and challenges us with the images and the snapshots that shock and disturb us, and that in the end help us all better understand ourselves and the world around us. And they sometimes provide a salve for the pain and the misery around us. And here we are, dedication of this very auditorium that will give a platform to the wild and crazy and brilliant talents of Dr. Collins' students, and blessing it with the name of the Phylicia Rashad Auditorium. Phylicia, I cannot think of a better person to have this auditorium named after, a place for the young to blossom, risk, try new things, be bold, and be great, just as you have been all your life. So thank you, Dr. Collins, for creating out of your out-of-the-box artistic, creative mind an incubator for our future leaders, influencers, artists, and most productive citizens. Thank you for asking your students to imagine what is possible, to self-express what needs to be said, to create and inspire, and to take time to listen to and appreciate each other. Thank you, and onward.